Hello everyone, welcome back to this course Mastering Docker 2025 from developer to production. In this video, we'll spin up our very first container, the classic Hello World container. Throughout this series, I'll be using Podman instead of Docker. The reason Podman is a drop-in replacement for Docker. The big advantage of Podman over Docker is that it is daemonless and rootless by default. Don't worry, we'll have a separate video on what are the key difference between Podman and Docker, how Podman is better than Docker, and how Podman supports the modern containerization strategies. For now, let's just get in and spin up our very first container. Now, to spin up your very first container, I'll open terminal. I'll just zoom in a bit. You can use command prompt or PowerShell or a Linux terminal, anything. So it works same everywhere. So first, let me check the version of Podman. So I'll run podman -v. So I'm using Podman 5.6.1, which is the latest version. So alternate command for this is podman ---- version, which gives the same result. Now I'll run one more command called as podman info. Now what does this command do? Now this command has given me a JSON object. Now, what is this? So, Podman info will give you the detailed system configuration of Podman in your host machine. It gives details of the client, host, registries, and storage configuration of your system. Here in the client side, I can see my API version, that is 5.6.1, which is the latest version. Then I can see the OS, that is Darwin OS. Then in the host object, I can see what are the different host configurations are configured. So I can see my CPU, input output, memory, process ID, etc. Now, similarly, if I dive deep into this, I can see my distribution strategies. Then I can see my kernel details. Then I can see what is the memory configurations, network configuration, etc. Then here I can see my security policies. Then here I can see my storage configurations. So here I can see registries. So registries are nothing but the remote location where all our images are stored. By default, my registries is configured to Docker IO. Docker IO is nothing but a registry from Docker Hub. Now, before we spin up our container, so let's have a lookout on Docker Hub. So I'll go to my browser and I'll open Docker Hub. So just type Docker Hub on the Google and just click on the first link. So this is the Docker Hub. So Docker Hub is nothing but a remote place where all the public and private images are stored. So when we are spinning up the containers, our containers or the Docker host will refer the images that are stored in Docker Hub. Now here, before I refer any image, I'll just sign in. So this is the default profile page after sign-in you are getting. Then here you can have an option called as Hub. Just click on it and go for Explore. So it will redirect back to the same Explore page. Now here in the top navbar, I have option for search. So here I will just search Hello World. So here I can see multiple images. So here I'll be referring the first image. So this is the official Docker image on Hello World, done by the Docker itself. Now, all software vendors will have their own images. Now, example, if I speak about Node.js, we install the Node.js runtime environment from their Node.js server. Similarly, if I want to have the same runtime environment in my container, I'll be referring the Node.js images in the Docker Hub. Now, who keeps track of this and manages Node.js images in the Docker Hub? So it's all, the images are always handled by their own software vendors. Now, if I speak about Node.js, I'll just click Node. So here you can see the official Docker image for Node. I'll just click on it. Now, here we can see the different versions and different types of images that is offered by Node, which we can use it and configure in our runtime environments. So every software vendor will have their own runtime environments and also the images, where we'll be referring these images in our containers and using it. Now, coming back to our Hello World. So this is the documentation of Hello World. You can see how you can use this Hello World within your containers. So they have given the example also. Now let's refer this and let's do it. Now I'll come to my terminal. I'll just clear the screen. Now I will run a command called as podman run and the image name. I'll type hello world. Now when I hit enter, you can see it is trying to pull from this website and you can see an internal error. So why this is happening? Because here I need to specify the exact route of the particular image. Example, now I am referring hello world from Docker Hub, but here it is referring from quaio.io. So both are same. Docker Hub is handled by Docker, but quaio is handled by Red Hat. So if you want, we'll just have a look at quaio. So just type quaio in the Google. This is maintained by Red Hat where all the container images are stored. Okay, now coming back. Now, how do I pull the specific image? So here I will add the directory, that is docker.io slash library slash hello world. Now, what happens is that when Podman runs this command, it will check whether the hello world image is present in my local machine. If it is present, then it will use the image and spin up the container. What if the image is not available on my local machine? So Podman will go to this URL, that is the docker.io, and it will fetch or download the image from the registry into the local machine. And then it uses this image in the host to spin up a container. Now when I hit enter, you can see trying to pull docker.io from hello world. Now you can see it has already pulled, it has copied. Now you can see hello world from Docker. So basically what it did was it first pulled the image from the Docker registry. Since I used podman run command, what it does, it will try to execute or spin up a container named hello world. So here that's what it does. So first it pulled from the source, then it copied into the container and just spin up the container. Hello world is a very simple image that is used to spin up a container just to check whether the Docker is properly configured in our machine. When the container spins up, it will execute a small code that displays a hello world from Docker, and then it terminates itself. The container automatically shuts down itself. Now, I'll just go into my Podman desktop. So this is the dashboard of Podman desktop. So here I can see my Podman is running. Here in containers, I can see all the active containers that are running and all the stalled ones. In the pods, this is for Kubernetes. Here in images, I can see the images that are present in my local machine. Since I pulled image called as hello world from docker.io, it is listed here. Now I can run here itself. Now when I start the container, it comes here. If I see the logs, you can see the same result here. So if you want, I can rerun. I just click here. See, it is executing the same command. I'll just rerun the container. See again, it does the same. So here if you see, I have 3 containers running because I tried to spin up the image container again and again. So that's how you spin up your first container. Now, if I come to terminal, so I want to list all my running containers. So how do I list my containers? I will run a command called as podman. Then I will run ps. So it will show all the running containers, but I don't have any running containers. Now I want to list all the images that are present in my host. So I will run podman images. So this will list all the images that is present in my host. Since I pulled hello world from docker.io, so that is the only image that is present here. Now I want to list all my containers. So I will go with docker ps -a. This will show all the containers. I have 3 containers in my Podman desktop and all these are listed here. So this is the GUI interface where you can see all your containers, and this is the command line interface. So we'll be using both in our upcoming videos. That's it, guys. This is how you spin up the classic Hello World container in your local machine. In the next video, we'll see how we can spin up the standard Nginx container in our local machine. So till then, stay tuned for this ultimate course. Thank you.